What's up, my babies? Welcome back to another episode of Astro Tea, of what's happening celestially. It is your fave, Tarot Mother, and let's go ahead and get into it. So we actually have a lot going on this week, so bear with me. I just want to give you all the tea so you are not blindsided by a lot of the energies that are going to be cropping up. So first off, on January 14th, we have Mercury going into retrograde in Aquarius. Then the 17th we have a full moon in Cancer. The 18th we have Uranus goes direct in Taurus, and then on the 19th we have the Sun entering Aquarius. So let's go ahead and break this down. So Mercury retrograde, all that means is that Mercury is really slowing down in the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius is all about humanitarian efforts, the rebel, the underdog, cryptocurrency technology, and just revolution. And then Mercury is all about also technology, communication, and any types of communication. So that could be like social media, emails, text messages, all that. So since it's going since it's kind of like going in reverse or just like really slowing down, double check all of your emails, your social media messages and posts and text messages and emails, and back up all your devices, because it doesn't happen to everyone, but a lot of times, you know, you could lose documents and things of that nature during Mercury retrograde, so be careful. Also, Mercury rules short distance travel, so be careful on the roads. Just really take your time. Mail might also be going slow because that is also Mercury as well. So if you ordered a package during retrograde, just let it come to you. And you know, when it wants to. Let's see what else. You might have a lot of ideas cropping up at this time, and so for me, retrogrades are a time to pause. So I just really like to do a lot of research on, you know, different topics and things like that I'm interested in, so that when Mercury gets out of retrograde and starts going direct or its normal speed, I can just hit the ground running. And so that's what I really, you know, advise everyone to do. I also think that it's important not to sign any contracts. I just really don't recommend it, because Mercury does rule contracts, anything written, because this happened to me. I tried to get an apartment during Mercury retrograde, and literally I wasn't able to like get the keys and everything until Mercury got out of retrograde. Like it was such a long process, and I was like, I cannot never again. So really try to you just got to be patient. That's really it. You know, I know the energy is a little different, is a little different for everyone, but this is just something to keep in mind. And also, I think it's a great time to reanalyze anything in the realm of limiting beliefs and mindsets. You know, Mercury represents the mind. So just try to find ways to heal, to identify, to become more aware of limiting beliefs so that they don't affect you in the future and prevent you from reaching success and, you know, really in progress. I think that's really important. So I recommend journaling, just getting all that information out, get all of those ideas, those nasty thoughts out of your head so they can be on paper. And yeah, I think I recommend journaling all the time because it's important, and I do it all the time. I just did it last night, so I stand by what I do and what I say. So on the 17th we have a full moon in Cancer. So around this time, I know that everyone is going to be like homebody, you know, not wanting to leave the house. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who probably don't want to anyway, especially because the seasons are changing. But the thing that I think that people should kind of focus on and really shed light on is finding ways to reparent yourself and nurture yourself in a healthier way. Especially, there could be some traumatic things that happen in your childhood relating to your mother, which is Cancer. So I think maybe kind of think about those things, because I don't think people understand how severe trauma can like really prevent you from growing and evolving. And so I just really want people to just, you know, just be aware. That's really the biggest thing. You also might be feeling very nostalgic, so there really could be a lot of old memories and things like that coming up. So just you know, stay prepared. Since a lot more people will be in the home, you might be just in the mood to like cook more, redecorate, and just vibe out. That's really it. You will probably like be in this space where you're gonna be revisiting like songs from like the 90s and the early 2000s, just like old school music. Like I've been in that bag already, so that's I really feel like that's where we're gonna be at. But just really tune into your emotional needs at this time, and what you need moving forward as well. So you need to make sure that you're asking your guides, asking yourself, and asking anyone in your circle what you need to see from them, and also be receptive to what they need from you as well. Because Cancer represents the emotions and the inner world. So just, you know, it's really important to have those sort of connections, those emotional connections in your friendships, you know, your family and everything like that. Like that's how we grow. You know, we think that it's important to be independent and alone, but in reality, interpersonal relationships create growth. We learn so much in our own personal relationships, and even your relationship with yourself too. So then we have Uranus goes direct in Taurus. So Uranus is the planet of revolution, rebellion, sudden changes, and it's been retrograde in Taurus since August 19th, 2021. And so it's finally, you know, going direct and going its normal speed. So I do feel that there could be a change in the market and the economy. But I think everyone needs to kind of switch their perspective, because I do feel like the housing market is going like houses and properties are going to be a lot cheaper. So this is the time to really buckle down, save your money, do research in cryptocurrency and other ways of making money, whether that be with your hobbies, you know, with friends and family, whatever that may be, because we're at this point to where if you are solely relying on our economy to make money and to have stability, which is Taurus, it's gonna crumble. I just strongly feel like there's a lot of things that are going to be crumbling. So it's just like you need to solidify your foundation, especially financially, because it's feeling very reminiscent of 2008, you know, when the stock market crashed. And this isn't the first time this has happened. So be prepared and just be mindful of really just don't be so rigid. That's the biggest thing the biggest advice that I can give to everyone is just don't be so rigid, you know, and just be mindful that these elected actors are just that. They say that they're going to help and do this and this and this, but they never intended to help. They never intended to, you know, like Joe Biden has voted against student loan forgiveness several times in a row, and I think that it's possible that he could, you know, do something to kind of help us out. I really don't believe it. I really don't, unless people really put their foot on his neck. Like, it really has to be that severe. So just keep that in mind. Just relinquish control, let things happen, be prepared to flow, and I think it's gonna be really beneficial for the middle class and people who have not been able to have been living like paycheck to paycheck. I really think that this transition is going to help those individuals, because we've been waiting for this moment to really blossom and evolve and create stability for ourselves. And I really think that this change is going to happen for us. And I really do think that there could be new currency. There's new cryptocurrencies, there's new ways of making money, like, you know, NFTs, all of that shit. Like, there's so many different ways. So it's like, there's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5, but be willing to do some other things on the side. You know, that we're at that point now where you can't really just solely rely on that 9-to-5, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, and also I recommend doing some affirmations around having a healthier relationship with money. I think that's going to be really crucial, because some people don't understand how lack mindsets or poverty mindsets could really have you stagnant. Because some people are like, oh, I want success, oh, I want this. But the thing is, the creator, source, God, whatever you want to call that, the universe, they like will give you anything that you need, but if you're not capable of handling it and using it in a way that's going to create stability, longevity, it's going to be very temporary. That's what I'm really feeling. It's going to be very temporary. So yeah. And then we have the Sun entering Aquarius, which means it is Aquarius season. So excuse me, I'm really feeling like if you don't have a social I don't know what happened. If you don't have a social life, definitely try to connect with others through technology. And because I think that we need to kind of switch from using technology as a way to create healthy connections and learning, rather than escaping and detaching from life. Because life is, I mean, I know the craziness is happening in the world, but a lot of it is not because of, a lot of it's orchestrated. We'll just leave it at that. A lot of it's orchestrated. So with the Sun in Aquarius, I really want people to find like-minded individuals in whatever space you feel comfortable kind of thriving in, and just really enjoy yourself. Really allow yourself to give and receive love. And I think it's going to be extremely beautiful to make those types of connections. That's what and also be aware of what's happening in the technological world. Just really be up on trends. I think that's going to help you transition, and again, create stability throughout 2022, especially when it comes down to finances. But yeah, this networking is going to be huge. It always is, but it's going to be crucial around this time even more so. That's Aquarius energy all day. And also remember that, like, Mother Nature, the animals, it's all connected. We're all connected. We're all dealing with the same types of energies, you know, no matter where you are in the world. So you're never alone. You're never alone. I also recommend during this time, try to volunteer and do some like humanitarian efforts that are important to you, and you might just find some new friends, you know, in that space. And I think it's, I just feel really good about it. So, so yeah. So let's go ahead and get into some tarot cards, and then I already pre-shuffled some oracle cards. So let's see what we get, okay? Okay, so let's see what comes out. Spirit, angels, and guides of love and light and unconditional love. What messages do you have for this coming week? Can I get one more card? Yeah. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but with a lot of this Taurus energy coming out, if you have a green thumb, get on it. Because a lot of things are going to change as far as food, and I've been kind of speaking on this for a while now, and there's certain individuals in power and elected actors, and they've actually been doing this for years. This isn't nothing new, but they've been this is like Taurus and Aquarius energy. So say for instance, livestock, instead of doing it the natural way, a lot of scientists and individuals have been growing and cloning animals animals and meat. So it's like the meat industry has been cloning cows, and I'll provide articles and everything for you to look at, but that's been something that's been really predominant. And if you also think about, it's not that hard to kind of to really digest when you think about GMOs, there's so many different types of fruits and veggies that are grown in a lab. So it's very, and cloning has been done ever since towards like the end of World War II. So there's nothing new, so just keep that in mind. And so I just feel like if you care about your own physical health, if you value, Taurus, your physical health, and your well-being, your family's well-being, you're going to do whatever is necessary to make sure that they are healthy and they get healthy foods. Because cloned meat is the weirdest shit I've ever heard. And it's just not natural. It goes completely against Mother Earth. And so I'm just really feeling like they're going to really start ramping that up even more so than they used to. So again, if you have a green thumb, if you just want to collab with someone who has a green thumb, whatever you need to do, it's just like if you support your local farmers, support them because they're not going to be on this bullshit, and collaborate with individuals that can kind of, like, say for instance, if you're really good at business and you know someone with the green thumb, that's a perfect partnership. Get really like elevate each other. So we have the Priestess, the Queen of Emotions, and Justice. So what I'm feeling is with the Priestess, I just feel like there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes that are going to be unveiled. Like I mentioned, with a lot of people don't really realize or know that, like, how harmful GMOs are, and also that cloning meat is a thing. It's been a thing for years, and if we give them the opportunity, they will continue to do it, and it's that awareness that I really need people to tap into and really focus on what you're feeling. Like if it does not feel right, if you have that gut feeling that something is not right, pay attention to that feeling. It's very, very important. Because again, we're thinking longevity, and if you're eating bullshit, life's gonna be shit. I'm kidding, but not really. And then we have the Queen of Emotions. This is very like Cancer energy. So I'm feeling like with the Queen of Emotions, especially since a lot of us are in the house, you have to find ways to cultivate your needs, your hobbies, whatever that is, in different ways. Whether that, try coloring, cooking more. I'm trying to think, maybe go running if you can. I just feel like there's a lot of things that you should be able to do and try to do in order to keep an emotional balance, but also Cancer is very mother energy, and so sometimes with moms, they tend to take care of everyone else, and they might give themselves a little bit of a self-care day. That it's so important. It's like you can't give from an empty cup. Like if you're depleted, you cannot give or receive, for that matter. So it's like because normally the Queen of Cups is depicted and she has the cup, which represents your emotions. but there's a lid on top. Like, there's only certain individuals that are allowed in this space, in my space, for a certain amount of time. And so that's what I feel you have to kind of do. And also, if there's certain things that need to be released from that cup, you know, crying is very therapeutic. It's free. So it's just like, if that's something that you need to do, do it. Because I really do feel like there's going to be a lot of things coming from the surface, coming from your subconscious, you know, because Cancer represents or rules the moon, you know, their subconscious mind, the unconscious. So it's like, you really have to pay attention to what comes up, because that's your guides telling you that this is a trigger and it's something that needs to be healed and recognized and nurtured. And also, if there's certain things from childhood that brought you joy, maybe revisit those. You know, it's like, we're going to be in the house for a little bit longer. You probably spend more time at the house anyway. So if there's something that brings you joy, you never know how that can evolve, or it could become a new hobby that could make money, or it could just be something that you do to just detach from any negative external energies. You know, it could just be just something that you do for fun. That's really it. And then we have Justice. So I really feel a lot of us are just being, this energy came out in another reading that I did, I think last week, and it's like, we're really being cracked open, and it's just like, we're recognizing our own power. We're recognizing what we need, what we want, especially on an emotional, physical, even financial level, you know, with this Taurus energy coming out, with the Uranus going direct in Taurus. And it's like, we're being there's a lot of things being brought to our attention. So I do feel like there will be a lot of things coming forth in the media that have been like hiding in the shadows. And it's like, you need to be, your guides really want you to stay emotionally stable and balanced and grounded, and understand that a lot of the things that have been orchestrated, like Ms. Rona, it's to show you that they cannot be trusted. It's to show you that you have so much power within you to create your own life, to help others, and to just start new. You know, this person went from here to over here. So it's like, they're ready to enter into this new phase. And also, you know, again, there's the moon is in the background too. It's like, pay attention to what your body is telling you, what your emotions are telling you, what your intuition is telling you, because it's like, the best way I can describe your intuition is like that inner voice, or it's that like if you grew up Christian, you know that the Bible says that like God is within us. That's what I equate to God being, is like our intuition, and it taps us into these universal energies and these things that are happening. Like, sometimes we don't know, sometimes we're tapped into the collective consciousness, and a lot of times we don't, like, we feel it, but we don't know what exactly it is. And it's just like, sometimes you gotta turn, sometimes it's like, you're in the car, you turn right, you don't know why you turned right, but you might end up in a very cool place. I don't know, hopefully that analogy made sense. But it's just like, there's certain things that you won't have all the details, but it's important to follow your intuition first before, like, don't allow your logical mind to talk you out of some shit. You know, it's like take a moment, take a second, and just take a moment. That's really it. Take a moment. Figure out what you need in that moment. Stay present. Listening to your intuition. If your intuition is saying no, it feels like a very heavy and suppressive feeling. If it's saying yes, it's a joyous feeling and it feels promising. And so you have to acknowledge those two energies that are cropping up. And so I did pre-shuffle some oracle cards beforehand. I haven't looked at them. I do feel, it always happens. It shocks the fuck out of me because it always connects with the tarot cards. I did shuffle those on camera, so I just you see the scales back there too. Listen. I've been doing tarot for a little minute and it still shocks the fuck out of me what comes out. So we have finding balance, if you didn't see that. And then we have vibrational alignment. Yes. Like we're being aligned to elevate collectively. And think about it. Okay, so again, like I said, if there's something that you've been really considering or feeling, think about it. And if it feels right, do your research and try and figure out how to get to that level. It's like, it's your time. And again, we've spent generation after generation relying on elected actors to show us the way, to provide for us, to protect us, and they have not. At the end of the day, it's always about money. And like an example, she's not the only example. This is just the most recent one that I could think of. But there's a lot, like they're actors. It's so performative. Like I know that AOC has done a lot for her community and other communities as well, which I really do commend her for. Because it's great. It is. I'm all for the positive change and everything. But the gown that she wore at the Met Gala didn't make any sense, because you're saying tax the rich, but you're at the most expensive event that's thrown in America. It might not be the most expensive, but it's like $20,000 to $30,000 a ticket, and that's not even including the cost of the outfit as well. So it's just like, it's just performative. It's just like, I don't like that shit. That's the part that I don't like. I commend the positive change and everything and doing your part to make a difference, but like that part was performative, and I'm like, I don't get the you gonna say tax the rich, but you pay $20,000 to $30,000 or more to get into this event. But anyway, vibrational alignment. So when you start to think more positively about your dreams and aspirations, and really believing that it is possible, because people achieve their dreams all the time, no matter how big or small. You have to align yourself with it. So it's like, say for instance, you're going on a trip and you need to update your passport or get a passport. You need new luggage. You might need some, travel essentials, like travel toothpaste, travel skincare sets or whatever. So it's like you're going to prepare for that moment when you're ready to travel. And so that's what your guides want you to do, is to prepare. So in this instance, if you are trying to start a business, you need to prepare. You need to do the research. You need to make sure that pay attention to any paperwork that you need to do. And just again, it's doing your research. So that's putting you in it. So it's like when you're more in alignment with what you want, everything flows nicely. I will say there's a lot of things where you might, like if it's business related, there's a lot of things where there's going to be a lot of trials and tribulations, because your guides really want you to experiment and to have a little bit of fun. Definitely that childlike energy. And the beauty of it is that you find different ways of doing things that you would have never considered if you would have solely focused or relied on your logical mind, if you with me. And then finding balance and think about it, they explain themselves. So we have spend time with animals. I definitely tapped into this when I was talking about the sun entering Aquarius. It's like we have to do things, and Taurus as well. We have to do things that are better. Again, what do you value? what do you value? Do you value health, wellness, wealth, and things of that nature, and also the earth as well? Because we get a lot of, like, we can't do shit without Mother Earth, and we have to take care of her in whatever way we can. And again, it's like, if you want good healthy foods, you have to do what's necessary to take care of the earth. That's just how it is. And nourish your temple. Again, it's like taking care of the earth, and taking care of yourself, taking care of your family it's much more than monetary value. You know, it's also speaking kind words, it's also being loving, it's also taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. You know, like on a plane, when like the masks come down, it's like you're supposed to secure yours before you do anyone else's. And that's the same thing with anything else in life. You have to secure your shit before you can handle anybody else's. And then we have detoxification, cleansing. Trigger statement, I will never change. True statement, in each moment I am a new me. You are supported as you release habits and limiting patterns that are not serving your highest good. This is my essential oils deck, and it be hitting. And then Melaleuca, that's how you say it. But evolution, trigger statement, things will never change. Damn, both of these. Okay, trigger statement, things will never change. True statement, I attract only what is my highest good. The imbalances and relationships that have been keeping you down are no longer needed. You are ready to transform. Yes, that's exactly where we are right now. It's like people think that New Year's resolution should only be about hopping in the gym and, you know, just doing, most of the time I see things like I've seen so many ads today about like with Weight Watchers and lean cuisine and all that. It's always like weight related, but it's just like I strongly believe that you can eat a lot of the things that you enjoy, but change the ingredients, you know, like no GMO. I can't have dairy, so I eliminated that. I say this all the time. Look at that. I can't have dairy. And gluten is also another thing that I cannot do. And so it's just like doing your research. I found a lot of really great alternatives, and all, you know, sugar alternatives as well. You know, I normally stick to either honey or cane sugar or brown sugar, and that's it for me, you know. And I don't even like crave sugar like I used to. Sugar is crack. No, I don't know. God, fuck what you heard. That's what it is. Anyway. It's important that we embrace these changes that are coming, because we can't deny them. And it's like the longer that we deny them, the longer it takes us to achieve success and the life that we've always dreamt of. And it's important that you hold that vision and be willing to change and put in the work, because that's what's going to get you to that next step, that next level. And you also have to keep in mind, it's so everything is connected. You know, Mother Earth is connected to us, our partners, our friendships, people on the other side of the globe, they all play a role in this. You know, like I remember some farmers in India were protesting because they weren't getting paid fair wages, and 70% of our spices come from India. So it's like, again, a lot of these other countries are dealing with their leaders not supporting them financially in a way that they can properly take care of themselves or their family. Like, realistically, the way that the money has been distributed, nobody should be homeless. Nobody should be really having GMOs. Cloning meat is, I'm sure they spend much more money cloning meat than actually taking care of the damn animals, to be real. So some things to keep in mind. So I hope that these messages help. And again, if you have a green thumb, or if you're good at business, if you're good at building houses, building furniture, just anything that, especially things that are for the home, things of value, things that are unique, that's very Aquarius energy, you're going to be straight. You know, you just have to believe in yourself, and you have to spend the time to experiment, you know, think a little bit more like a child and just have fun with it, because that's where we're turning. You know, we're getting away from corporate America, you know, corporate companies kind of ruling the world right now. We're getting away from all that shit. So it's like, you are about to be center stage. So it's like, how do you want that to look? How do you want to present yourself, your brand, your business? How do you want to spend your time with your family, friends? You know, how do you want to nourish yourself as well? You know, that's going to be very important too. But yeah, it's time for a little journaling. I think that's, I recommend it all the time. So, so have fun. Good luck, everybody. And I promise you, it's like, we're gonna be straight. We're gonna be straight. It's just like, the biggest thing you have to remember is that God is taking a sledgehammer to these foundations that have not supported us, and they need to go. That's it. That's it. And we're gonna find balance and be able to enjoy our lives the way that we should be, not paycheck to paycheck or something, you know, whatever, you know. So good luck, have fun, and wishing you all the best and healthy foods. Bye.